Hello and welcome. My name is Anne Gruner. I'm an immigration attorney here at Diaspora Law, and I'd like to speak with you today about a little-known law called the Liberian Refugee Immigration Fairness Program. This is something that was passed by Congress in December of 2019. It was part of a larger bill, so it didn't get a lot of attention, but the deadline to apply for it is coming up December 20th, 2020, and this is a very rare opportunity for Liberian citizens to apply for a green card based solely on their nationality. This means that they do not need an employer or a family member to petition for them. They're able to apply based solely on the fact of their Liberian citizenship. So I'd like to talk to you about this a little bit today, because if this is something that applies to you, a family member, or a loved one, it is very important to speak with a qualified immigration attorney soon so that you can have your application submitted before the December 20th, 2020 deadline. Now, as I stated, this applies to Liberian nationals, anybody who has a birth certificate or passport from the country of Liberia, but it also applies to their spouses and children, regardless of whether they are Liberian or not. So if you are married to a Liberian national and you yourself are not a citizen of Liberia, you can still apply for this green card based on your spouse's nationality. This is also an important provision for children because it applies to children of any age. They can be under 21, over 21. As long as they are not married, they can apply for this based on one of their parents' citizenship. Now, in order to qualify, you also have to have lived in the United States continuously from November 20th, 2014. If you left the U.S. for a vacation, a short trip, that's okay, but as long as you can show the U.S. government that you maintained your residency here, that your time abroad was only temporary, you will qualify. And the way that we show the U.S. government that you've been living in the United States continuously is by submitting things like tax returns, bank statements, lease or mortgage information, utility payments, and also, very importantly, your arrival and departure record. So this can be stamps in your passport, but also specifically, it's something called an I-94, and some people may have a little card in their passport, but you can also get this record online. And this is the official U.S. record of all your entries and departures from the United States, and it shows the government exactly how long you were gone, and that you returned, and that you continued living in the United States. Those are the basic qualifications. It is very important to note that I did not say that your immigration status matters. So if you came to the U.S. on a visitor visa and overstayed, you can still apply for this green card. If you entered unlawfully and you're not currently in any kind of immigration status, you can apply for this green card. This is a very, very rare opportunity. So regardless of how you came in or what your circumstances are, it's worth exploring whether this is something that's right for you or your family members. Now, there are some things that will disqualify you from receiving this green card, and those are normally criminal records. So if you were previously convicted of a crime, this could be something that disqualifies you, but not necessarily. Criminal records in an immigration context, and especially in the context of applying for a green card, can be very complicated. So if you have anything bigger than, let's say, a traffic ticket, you absolutely should be speaking to an immigration attorney. If you apply for this and you do have those records, you could be denied, but it also could have other immigration consequences. So regardless, it's something that you should speak with an attorney about. Now, as I mentioned, the deadline to apply for this is December 20th, 2020. That does not mean you have to be approved by then. It just means that your application has to be received by USCIS. It has to be in their hands. So even if you get called for an interview later on, that's fine. But with that deadline approaching, it is important to get your application in so that you have this chance at a green card that not many others do. The last thing I want to mention today that can also be very important is the ability to file for a work permit. Once you have submitted your green card application, you are also able to apply for an employment authorization document, or an EAD. It's also known as a work permit, and this is what allows you to work legally in the United States if you don't already have a green card or refugee status. So again, if you overstayed a visa or if you entered unlawfully and you've been working without authorization, this is one great way where you can bring that into legal status and then also bring yourself into legal status by applying for this green card. So I hope this information was helpful to you. Again, I do encourage you to speak with an experienced and qualified immigration attorney who will be able to help you navigate this process and any potential side effects or complications to make sure that your application is submitted on time and submitted properly so that you don't lose out on this opportunity. Thank you, and if you have any further questions, our attorneys here at Diaspora Law are always happy to help.